The last thing we need to do in this class is talk about the law of cosines. Now the formula for the law of cosines has three different variations, and those variations are essentially the same. They're based off of, depending on which angle that you have available to you, or if you're missing an angle, then which angle you want to find. So let me give you the variations. The one that I remember first is the following. So let me just stop right here when I'm writing this down. I've got a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So the reason I remember this is because it looks like the Pythagorean theorem. But now I have to subtract off 2ab times the cosine of gamma. The reason I have to subtract this off is because this is used for non-right triangles. Now you can use it for a right triangle, but why would you? You already have all the information available to you. So then we would default back to our definitions of sine, cosine, and tangent. So this is one version. Here's another one. What I want you to notice is that whatever side I put on the left side has got to be the same angle, or its corresponding angle on the right side. And then the other two sides fall into place. So lastly, I get this. So those are my three variations. Let's try a problem. Let's say, for example, you're given a triangle with the following dimensions, and you want to solve for the remaining sides. So let's grab a different color here. So let's say you're given that beta is equal to 50 degrees, A is 7, and C is 2. And you want to try to solve this. So what we'll do is I'm just going to draw out an arbitrary triangle. Now I'm going to call this side beta, so this is B. We'll call this angle alpha, so this is side A. And I'll call this gamma, so this is 2. Now what I need to do is I need to use one of these three formulas with the information that I've given. Now, I either need all of the sides to find an angle, okay, or I need to find one of the sides first. So this is a side angle side, because I have side, then angle, then side. And so the law of cosines gets used for side angle side triangles and side 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 triangles. Otherwise, we're going to be using the law of sines, except for the angle 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 case, and that doesn't have a definitive answer. There's an infinite amount of solutions for that. So, setting this up, I'm going to use this second guy in here. So I'm going to say b squared, which I don't know, is going to be equal to a squared, which is 7 squared, plus c squared, which is 2 squared. So a squared plus c squared minus 2 times a times c times the cosine of beta. So b squared is equal to 49 plus 4 minus 28 times the cosine of 50. So 49 plus 4 is 53. So I'm going to go ahead and grab our calculator here. Okay, so we need the cosine of 50, so I'm in degrees. Okay. Now I'm going to take that guy, multiply it by 28, and I'm going to take 53 and subtract that. So 53 minus approximately 18. So I'm going to get 35. So I'll get b squared is equal to a length of 35, which means that b will be equal to the square root of this. So let's see here, it looks like I get 5.91 or 5.92 if I round it. Now you might say, well, it's plus or minus that value, but remember, b is a positive number because it's a length, so we'll go with the positive version of this. Okay. So now that I've got this side, I can solve for the remaining angles. And I'll really only need to solve for one angle, because once I get that, I can use the fact that there's 180 degrees in a triangle to solve the remainder. So now I can use whichever one of these I want, but remember I'm trying to find either gamma or alpha. So I'm going to want to use either the top one or the bottom one. So it's really irrelevant. Let me use the bottom one. So now a squared is equal to b squared. Oops, I wrote down c squared first. It won't matter, it's irrelevant because addition is commutative, but I want to stay in the order that the formula is written. So b squared is 35. Okay, because that's what happens when you square 5.92. C squared is 4 minus 2 times b times c times the cosine of alpha. So I need to find this guy over here. So this is 49 minus 35 minus 4 is equal to negative 2 times 5.9 times 2 times the cosine of alpha. So 49 minus 35 minus 4 is 10 divided by negative 2. So I'll just make this guy negative. So negative 2 times 5.9 times 2, like that. So I'm getting negative 0.4, let's say 0.42. So now we'll take the arc cosine of that value. Oops. And I'm going to get 114.83. So that's telling me that alpha is about 114.8 degrees. Okay. And now we'll go ahead and we'll keep solving. So you can say this is 115 if you want to, or 114. And so now, to find gamma, I could go ahead and use that first equation up top, or I could just take 180 and subtract, we'll say 114.8, and then subtract again 50, and that'll give me 15.2 degrees. Okay. So let's go ahead and stop that there, and then we'll do one more video with using this particular law.